I actually messaged though.
Jacob, if you stick this in, man, this will be the first thing you see is the video file on there.
You got it, and it looks like y'all have just gone live. I'm gonna. Okay, and yeah, your mics are good. Okay, yeah, you're streaming now.
And we're streaming now. We're going live now.
Yep.
Hello, Internet.
Welcome, everybody, to Sports Entertainment Tonight right here on AOC and WGS TV. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Wrestle Gamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, along with Nick the Trick Fuquay and Mark.
Is that my nickname now?
Okay. Mark the Smark.
And Mark the Smark.
But Nick's nickname is
Nayday.
Nayday. Makes all
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Nayday. They call me.
Make all the girls, make all the ladies say Mayday.
Mayday. What that means? Watch out.
You can't teach that.
I'm coming in now.
Oh,
teach
man.
that.
And you can't teach that.
And let's just...
And ladies, believe me, I will not be, I'm going to spell it out for them, S-A-W-F-T, soft!
Yeah, we're hard.
Wow. Okay, let's
Go ahead, Bill.
Let's leave it at that, you know.
I'm trying to give you some comedic relief.
And y'all doing just that. Y'all doing
Okay.
just fine with that. But like I said, guys and gals, and as you see...
Whoa!
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, joining us from an undisclosed location, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen him many a time with MSX right here on WGS TV and also right here on AOC, especially on Sports Entertainment Tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You know him as the Insane Machine, Cody Hawkins. Cody, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear, Bill.
He's coming from an undisclosed location, which, of course, this is a first here where we've actually done a live satellite interview with a professional wrestler.
Yes, definitely, as I'm trying to get all of this squared away. But we got a lot to talk about, especially on this in this week's episode. I'd like to talk about concerning Monday Night Raw, Ring of Honor's show Best in the World, which was almost a ripoff of CM Punk, if you think about it. They had their big show Friday night, which was a really great show. I'm going to talk about that, including some controversies that happened, especially over in Texas with the Main Event Pro Wrestling promotion, and a lot to talk about. And like I said, this is going to be a fun and interesting show, to say the least. So let's go ahead and get started with the very first thing I want to talk about, and it actually kicked off Monday Night Raw, was WWE actually bringing the storyline of Roman Reigns' wellness violation suspension on TV. And this is one of the things, Nick, that really irks me, because, and it also leaves me to question the legitimacy of the wellness violation suspension of Roman Reigns. Because in the past, when guys like Roman Reigns, like Adam Rose, when those guys had their wellness violations and they had to be suspended, it was never broadcast as part of a storyline. We saw that last night at the opening of Monday Night Raw. That leads me to question how legitimate that wellness violation suspension really is.
Well, and we even called that last week when the story broke last Tuesday on Sports Entertainment Tonight. We questioned the fact whether it was not it was a work at the time. Just because, I mean, hey, they're trying to turn Roman Reigns heel, and, you know, ultimately they could use this in the storyline. How many times, as you mentioned, has somebody been suspended and then still been put in a title match on the next pay-per-view?
Exactly. It makes literally no sense whatsoever for them to actually bring that to light. If they really wanted to keep a hush on it and actually surprise fans, personally, in my opinion, Mark, they should have never even mentioned it in a promo.
But they want to make it a storylines, the reality era, and everybody knows from Twitter, Facebook, and Chalant Instagram that he got in trouble, suspended for a drug suspension.
But, I mean, like, and they kind of made it like CM Punk. Well, it was kind of like a CM Punk type pipe bomb. Or at least I think that's what WWE was trying to, that, you know, hey, Seth Rollins is breaking the fourth wall. He's talking about this thing. But it kind of ruined it that it showed the tweet. They had the video footage waiting for the tweet, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
So that made it not necessarily a shoot, which, cool background.
Yeah.
That made it not necessarily a shoot, you know, rather than it was planned by the WWE.
And by the way, guys and gals, if you want to get in Well, our show's not mainline. That's not our show.
Welcome to the main line.
Yeah, but the phone number will be appearing on the bottom of the screen if you guys want to weigh in on topic. And speaking of that, Cody, I got to go to you. I mean, you of all people, especially being involved in the wrestling business yourself, that had to kind of like infuriate you a little bit to see them actually bring that wellness violation into the storyline and actually really question the legitimacy of it.
Well, when you take into consideration what's been going on in the world of professional wrestling, you gotta really take a, like Mark said, it's the reality era. The more real the situation looks, the more convincing it will be. I mean, the fans will take it in and go, "Oh, Roman Reigns is a drughead. Oh, whatever, dude." Look, when it's all said and done at the end of the day, it's what makes business happen. I've watched, even as a child, I've watched, and to this day, till now, it's actually moved up a lot. When it taking into consideration everything that has been developing through the years in the world of professional wrestling. Bit like you said, a lot of other WWE superstars have violated wellness policy, like Adam Rose, like Heath Slater. Like there's quite a few of them. The list goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Hardy, he's probably one of the most famous ones of them all. But
what do you think that Roman Reigns actually violated the wellness policy? You think he took some painkillers, smoked some weed, or what?
You never know it. I mean, the options are endless. But still, WWE has this wellness policy for a purpose, and that's to keep their workers for a long-lasting career. I mean, because the average career expectancy of an independent or even big top professional wrestler is anywhere between 10 to 20 years. Sometimes even 30 if they take good care of themselves. And the wellness policy helps these superstars do so. And if they don't follow the wellness policy, well, then there are consequences.
Then they're not well.
Yeah.
They're not well.
Yeah, that's an understatement. And guys and gals, if you want to get in your statements on what we're talking about, you see the phone number at the bottom of your screen. Call that number, 337-366-8950. We're also live on youtube.com/WrestleGamer. Just get into the chat room and we will read your comments out loud. Big shout out to Joker's Nightmare TV and Devontae Agerson for being in the chat room.
Call it, hit us up!
Yeah, exactly. Now,
actually, Billy, speaking of the wellness, I'm not sure if you guys actually heard CM Punk was on The Herd with Colin Cowherd, and he was actually talking a little bit about his transition from the WWE to the UFC, and just kind of how, I guess, his discontent with how the WWE treats their talent. Here the WWE can be, I guess, somewhat hypocritical in that they don't have any kind of health insurance. The talent has to pay for their own food, their own travel, so.
But they're independent contractors.
I mean, you've heard many things, especially coming from, especially concerning Ryback's release. Whenever his release in the WWE came to be, and he put the Big Top Federation on check. That was hearsay. Some people say it was legitimate. Some people say it wasn't. Some people say there was like fake Twitter accounts concerning the issue, but you can never really truly understand what the wrestling business is really about whenever it comes to hearsay or who says what, when, where, and why. I mean,
especially from CM Punk, I suppose. Who definitely has his achy balls over the business.
What surprises me more is that CM Punk actually agreed to do an interview with someone that would actually challenge him in an interview, because we know what kind of person CM Punk is. He only wants to talk to people like Colt Cabana, the guys that would kiss his ass and stuff like that.
He's promoting his fight, which actually, we've got Brock Lesnar versus Mark Hunt on July 9th at UFC 200, and then CM Punk is actually scheduled for UFC 203 versus Mickey Gall. Right now, CM Punk is a plus 265 underdog, meaning I guess if you bet $100, you would win $365 if you bet on CM Punk. So I might place a bet on CM Punk, because I'm thinking that, like, holy crap, they probably gave him somebody crappy to have against his first fight, because he's a cash cow. They need CM Punk to win.
Exactly.
I mean,
It's the name value. CM Punk.
Exactly. He sells pay-per-views.
Exactly.
If he named himself back to Phil Brooks, nobody would know who he was.
So Mickey Gall,
Definitely.
I got CM Punk over Mickey Gall. So if you want to spend $100 and make $365, go bet on CM Punk.
Yeah, but how about this though? Because for a long time he was ducking Jason David Frank.
JDF, yes, I heard a lot about the whole JDF buzz.
So I personally think if CM Punk really wants to challenge himself as a fighter, then he needs to grow a set and actually accept JDF's challenge.
Let him have his first fight first.
Fight Green Ranger, man.
Hey, look, both of these guys got a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background. Why not?
Yeah.
Just to see a showcase of what these two guys are really about whenever it comes to the art of fighting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Jason David Frank has had an extensive line of martial arts experience, dating back all the way to his times, even before being a part of the whole Power Rangers franchise.
Surely.
You know, and I mean, the guy, looking at his training videos, he keeps himself up. He's in great shape. You know, same thing goes for Punk, man. He's a good worker. He's a good, he's a good professional wrestler. I've never seen him fight before. I've never seen this guy.
Which I
fight
think
before.
the whole wrestling world, UFC world, is waiting to see.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean, just like
but,
they were waiting on Brock Lesnar whenever he hit the UFC.
Which
know,
Brock
because-
Lesnar's record is only 4-3 in the UFC. By the
Right.
way.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't he just beat Frank Mir at UFC 200?
It
It was
UFC 100. I think his last one was 143 or something. They said.
We do have a comment in the chat room from Joker's Nightmare TV. He says JDF is constantly calling Punk out. Yeah, exactly. And what does Punk constantly do? He constantly ducks the challenge of JDF.
Look, I mean, if it's like this, bro, it's one simple rule, and you have an ultimatum: put up or shut up. That's the way it is in the fighting world. In the world of UFC and the world of martial arts, it's one of those. It's one of those things. It's either you bite down on the bullet, take the deal, and take the match, and have an opportunity to have a successful win, or a hard fought defeat, or get away from it.
But I think it's better, like, at least you go fight. But I think if you get your butt kicked, it's better than not going fight. You know, instead of running your mouth, you're like, I don't want to do that crap. You know, I don't have to fight him. You know,
Like-
I'd rather like just go, get your butt kicked, but at least try your best instead of being a wimp
and
about.
put some professionalism, have some dignity,
Yeah.
and don't. Sorry for the Punk guys. Don't punk out.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of professionalism, there was an incident that happened this past weekend over in Texas, and I believe do we have that video ready?
Yes, is that the
With homicide,
I think it was
That's how
it's either that one or it's,
I've
no,
got
it's
it
the
on my
Facebook
phone
one.
right now on
Do you
Facebook.
see-
the one
Yeah.
that's
Trust
like,
me.
horrendous.
it's a few
That
seconds.
was you.
It's 15 seconds.
Okay, I think I got it.
Yes.
You want to just go to it?
Yeah, go to it right now, ladies and gentlemen. And when this video goes up, I want you to pay attention to the upper left-hand corner of your screen.
Okay, we're coming to it.
Well, you know what? Before
Yeah,
we go any
we
further,
can-
what this is
this
an
is more
image
important.
of, ladies and gentlemen, it was on this day back in 1998 that the Undertaker threw Mankind, Mick Foley, off the top of the Hell in the Cell during King of the Ring, and by that
And then
moment
threw
right
it.
there,
And through it, the second one was much rougher than.
yeah. And needless to say, Nick, this moment right here that we're looking at changed the face of professional wrestling forever.
You're right, and I've never seen that picture before. That's a great
Yeah,
picture.
that was a good picture there, because I mean that right there revolutionized.
That
It
killer.
says it all.
That made the Attitude Era what it was.
Yeah.
Not just the workers, but the moments that happened during this era defined it and reshaped the face of professional wrestling as it is. You know, I was just a kid watching that. I was a little kid sitting there on the couch with a big bucket of popcorn and a case of Dr. Pepper, going like, "What in the heck just happened?"
Holy shnikes.
It's both his teeth went through his nose. Like he
Yep.
still doesn't remember the second part of the match.
Like, cause wasn't he like carted out on a gurney, and
Yeah.
then he just wakes up and it's like, "No, I'm gonna finish this match."
Yeah.
Because at the end of that match, as a matter of fact, I did a little report on this guy whenever I was in high school. At the end of that match, the entire crowd you're looking at about, 17,000 strong.
Standing ovation.
Stood up and applauded both of these guys for putting their lives on the line. And backstage, it was rumored to say that Vince said, that was great, but don't ever do it
Yeah,
again.
you put a governor on it.
He put a governor on.
Yeah.
Which
on
that
situation.
if that had happened in today's environment, the match would have been stopped after the first spot. They would
That could never
have
happen.
continued.
Yeah.
That would never happen this day.
They would have put a dampener on. They would have put that, having technical difficulties
Yeah.
on the screen. Because it's like they putting a dampener.
Which, speaking of anniversaries, it is also the 1 year anniversary of the Divas Revolution, the beginning of the Divas Revolution. Mark, first off, can you tell me your opinion of what you thought about the Divas Revolution or Women's Revolution in
I thought it was
wrestling?
gonna be great, but it went downhill.
It is going downhill. Why do you think so?
It's let off because there's not a diva division anymore. It's the women's division again.
Yeah, but still, they're still considered WWE divas.
No, actually, they call them superstars now.
Yeah, they actually got rid of the term divas out of the WWE and just they call it women's wrestlers. And to me,
Or female superstars.
yeah, and I think that's actually a better thing to do because personally to me, I think the term divas was actually a derogatory term.
And it made them sound dainty.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, how can I say this? Sexist.
Yeah.
And Nick, I noticed one thing that we've been about 16 minutes into the show and Corey hasn't called us yet.
I don't know. Where's old Corey at?
Where you at, son?
Yeah.
You want to show that other one real quick?
Yeah, let's show that video.
Yeah,
if
this
we've
is
got it.
this is a brand new intro that I had designed specifically for Sports Entertainment Tonight, guys. We're about to show you, and we want to hear what you have to think about it. Let's go ahead
Which one do you
and
know? There's Corey calling right now, and the phone ringer wasn't on.
Wait.
But let's go to our video first. Oh,
That's awesome.
exactly.
wait for it. Oh, yeah. And then Oscar.
Yeah,
Corey, call back.
Interestingly,
The phone ringer
while
wasn't
we
on.
wait for Corey to come
There
back,
he is.
Well, there he is. Let's bring him on the line. Let's talk to Corey. Corey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
What's the deal?
What's the deal, Corey?
What you thought about the fight off the internet with the Hernandez homicide with that Brett McKenzie guy?
You hadn't seen it.
Well, we haven't showed that yet.
Yeah.
But
Do we have our video?
well, by the way, Joker's Nightmare TV said the intro was epic. So thank you, Joker's Nightmare TV.
Epic.
Corey, what did you think of the new intro I designed for the show?
I like it.
Better than what we had.
Thanks, Billy. Billy, that together.
Thank you, Billy.
Oh, no problem.
Hey, let me tell y'all something.
Yes, sir. What you got, Corey?
Let me give y'all a compliment.
Facebook video.
Yeah, what you got, man?
I love doing y'all show.
You love the way we do our show. Okay, well, what is it that you like about our show, Corey?
I enjoy it, bro, 'cause y'all let people call in and give their full comment.
Yeah. Before the fans, man.
Oh, yeah, man, and we
We're fans
enjoy
ourselves.
when our fans call in, and you're
Yeah.
probably our number one fan, we gotta say, dude.
Corey, we also have the Insane Machine Cody Hawkins here.
Cody Hawkins, who's that?
He's a former MSX Zero Gravity champion, a multiple-time tag team champion here in Louisiana.
Have you ever been to a local wrestling show, Corey?
A local wrestling show?
Yeah, we have Gulf Coast Wrestling here in Louisiana, along with Mid-South Extreme.
Yeah.
I went when they came to the kingdom, though.
That doesn't really.
Yeah, but get this, buddy. The WWE is one thing, but whenever it comes to the independent scene, there's plenty of federations out here, bro. You just got to keep your eye out. Sometimes they have flyers out. Sometimes there is internet promoting, like Facebook or Twitter or things like that. I help with Mid-South Extreme, and I've been a part of Gulf Coast Wrestling's roster for about 7 years now.
Let me tell you something. I've heard of Mid-South Extreme, and there's some dangerous wrestling.
Some dangerous wrestling, huh? I think you might be thinking about one of the other promotions.
Maybe like CZW, maybe.
No.
CZW, I think, is what it is. Like where they do the extreme.
Well, check this out. If you want to know about Mid South Extreme, just go to Billy Boudreaux's website, brother. Billy is youtube.com/WrestleGamer and look up Mid South Extreme Wrestling. I'm on that. I'm on some of those videos.
And we've actually shown a couple of them here on Sports Entertainment Tonight. We've tried to, we just don't have enough matches to show.
But just can't keep this on the down low for right now. But I have heard some rumors, and Cody has also heard the same thing, of some possible dates in the future for shows coming up with not only Mid South Extreme, but Gulf Coast Wrestling as well.
Yeah, there's going to be a
Gulf Coast.
Yeah, Gulf Coast Wrestling, brother. GCW out of Morgan City, Louisiana.
Yeah, tell them about some of those dates y'all got scheduled.
Well, we have August 12th, 13th, and 14th. It's going to be a triple shot weekend. Each day, one show. The Friday show on the 12th is going to be in New Iberia at the City Park Rec Center. The 13th is going to be at the Amelia Recreation Center in Amelia, Louisiana. And the third show is going to be on the Sunday on the 14th in Cutoff, Louisiana. Now, that's just GCW. Now, Mid-South Extreme has a show. It's in the works right now. We're trying to solidify the date, but we're pushing it August 27th in Elton, Louisiana at the Coshada Multiplex. And I'm going to be on that card, definitely.
Which, Cody, you've been saying that you think that you've been in the business for how long now?
7 years.
7 years, so it's about time that possibly you might get some type of title shot.
I mean, I've held titles between Mid-South Extreme and GCW quite a few times.
You wrestle too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. With me, Corey, I'm just a commentator. I'm kind of like Jim Ross. I'm way better than Michael Cole, I can tell you that right now.
Well, who's not?
But Billy's background goes back a good while, like dating back to the days of AEW.
I like you know why?
Why?
I like you know why? You tell the truth. You tell the truth. And another thing is, you know how to compensate.
Yes, thank you very much. And that's one thing I kind of pride myself on, whether I'm here or if I'm doing my reviews.
I got a question for you.
What you got?
I got 2 questions for you, Billy Boudreaux.
What you got?
Why wouldn't you go compensate for Raw?
I want to so badly, but one of the things that WWE has a prerequisite for it is you have to have a degree in journalism.
Yeah, journalism degree.
I'm going to respect you for the rest of the year, bro.
I don't have that degree either.
Yeah, but there's one thing that I've figured out, and that's one of the, you heard of the NXT All Access Passes?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they actually featured one of their events on a recent episode of Swerved, where, believe it or not, Tom Phillips is actually teaching a commentary class. Yeah, and let me just say this, and I've said it on my last NXT review, and I'm going to say it on here. If I ever get the opportunity to go over there to NXT All Access and get in that commentary class, I would smoke Phillips's ass on commentary.
It's $1,500.
The guy knows nothing.
It was $1,500. I looked that up the other day.
You're going to make a GoFundMe Christmas to make Billy go to NXT, the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. He can smoke Top Phillips. That's the next GoFundMe for Billy Boudreaux. Go to
Michael Cole don't know neither. That's why.
Well, apparently they all they got like journalism degrees, man. That's the only reason they get them over, because they have a voice.
You should go commentate for Raw.
But they lack intelligence.
But you know who would be a better solution for Monday Night Raw right now, Corey?
Who?
Mauro Ranallo.
And Corey Graves has come
and who is that?
You know the play.
He's the SmackDown
Yeah,
announcer.
he's the SmackDown commentator. Have you heard him?
That's that black dude, correct?
No, that's Byron Saxton.
No, he's like basically the Michael Cole on SmackDown.
But much better.
He's much better. He knows all the names of the wrestling moves.
100 times better.
And not only that, but the English names, the Japanese, and the Mexican pronunciations. And he is not afraid to actually implement that into his commentary. For a long time, he was the English commentator for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was also on Access TV with MMA Fights Tonight, I believe it's called. And now he's also on SmackDown. But to me, when they have the draft on July 19th, and I actually thought about it because it has happened once before, where Jim Ross, who was on Monday Night Raw, got drafted to SmackDown, and Michael Cole, who was on SmackDown, got drafted to Raw. What if we're looking at the possibility, Corey, of Michael Cole being drafted to unemployment and Mauro Ranallo being drafted to Monday Night Raw as a new play-by-play commentator? They could do it like that.
Now you see, I would like that because you know why? I don't like Michael Cole.
I don't think many wrestling fans do there, Corey.
Michael Cole should go back to doing like the voiceovers and going back to doing the
Let me tell you something, Nick. All right,
these
check this
backstage
out.
interviews.
I think Corey's got something for you, Nick. I think.
Yeah, what you got, Corey?
Was the one that worked for who we talking about, Michael Cole?
Uh-huh.
I would take the one from SmackDown.
Mauro Ranallo, which actually, Corey, have you heard about the Cruiserweight Classic?
Yep, he's one of the
Yeah, I heard
commentators
about
on
that.
game.
Yeah, he's actually going to be the commentator along with Daniel Bryan. Yes, 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 yes. And that starts Wednesday, actually, on the WWE Network. I am going to mark out whenever I watch that.
And Tajiri's in it.
No, but look,
Tajiri, yeah.
they should take Marco Ronaldo and put him.
I agree with you, Corey. Corey, did you actually, what do you think about the new pay-per-view schedule? It has been kind of leaked out that starting after SummerSlam, we're going to have 2 pay-per-views per month, brother. So we're going to, every 2 weeks, we're going to have a new pay-per-view, and they're going to go back and forth. They actually released it, and I've got the dates here. I'm going to call them out. On July 24th, I guess about 4 weeks from now, we got Battleground. Then on August 21st is SummerSlam. At that point, they'll have done the draft, and they're going to have the Raw brand, SmackDown brand. And then on 9/11, they're going to have Backlash, which is going to be a SmackDown show. Then they're going to do Clash of Champions. They're bringing back all kind of old pay-per-views.
Think about what
Raw.
he just said right there. Clash of the Champions, one of the staples of
I remember
WCW.
Dusty
I
Rhodes.
remember that.
No Mercy, SmackDown show on October 9th, then Hell in a Cell for Raw on October 30th. Then they're going to do TLC, Tables, Ladders. Well, actually, Survivor Series is going to be before that, November 20th, and that's going to be both Raw and SmackDown. Then they got TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, December 4th with SmackDown, and then Roadblock. So get this, Corey, we're going to get 20 pay-per-views per year with the WWE now.
Yeah,
That's what's up, my friend.
that's some money. Yeah.
So, and I imagine what they're going to do is basically have a Raw and a SmackDown pay-per-view each month, and then they'll be combined for the big 4 pay-per-views with Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. So that leads to 20
That's
pay-per-views
good.
a year.
That's good.
That's what's up is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's
Oh
what's up.
yeah, that's good.
Now, Corey, it's time for your trivia question for this week. Are you ready?
What you got?
Now, Corey, are you watching your TV right now, right?
Yep, go easy.
Okay, now, do you see the t-shirt that I'm wearing?
Yeah.
This is Sting. On the very last episode of WCW Monday Nitro, who did Sting wrestle?
That's for a belt.
Nope,
No,
it was
sir.
the
Come on, Corey.
It
Everybody
was the
knows.
very last episode of Monday Nitro, and think about who did Sting have a major rivalry with in WCW.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. He's a 2-time Hall of Famer.
Woo! Think about this, Corey.
Hold on. Not
Corey, when you see this, what do you think of? You see my hand? What do you think of when you see this?
What is it? Wait, I'm lost.
Do you remember the Four Horsemen, Corey?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Who is the leader of the Four Horsemen?
Arn Anderson.
That was the enforcer. That was the enforcer. But who was the leader and the former 16-time world heavyweight champion?
Wasn't it?
Ric Flair.
There you go, Corey. It was Ric Flair. Ric Flair and Sting wrestled on the very last episode of WCW Monday Nitro 2001 to close out the show.
Now hold on. I'm about to ask you about that 2K16.
2K17.
Well, 2K17,
Actually, got
and you know
some news
what?
on
We
that.
actually have the picture. We actually have a picture of the cover of 2K17, and I
We're
gotta
making
say,
Jacob work tonight.
yeah, but I gotta say this: when you see this picture, I hate this picture right here. I hate it so much.
Why do you like
Brock Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar. He's the.
Why? I don't like the guy. I just don't like the guy. I don't see what people want to drool all over this guy.
Oh, look at those pecs.
That's what they put on that this year?
Yeah, look, there it is right there. Brock Lesnar on the cover of WWE 2K17. I have major objections about
Get him
this.
to come.
I don't like that.
It's better than Goldberg being on the cover.
Oh, you got a point there.
No. I'd rather the Undertaker be on there.
They've never done that, I don't think. I mean, I don't recall the Undertaker being on a cover anytime recently.
Like the Phenom cover.
Or what about, Cody, think about this. What about one of the hot new talents in WWE?
Yeah,
like a Seth Rollins or Roman, like somebody from The Shield. Why
they
not
haven't
have
done
one of
any
them?
of those because they've pretty much put legends on the cover the last couple
So
of years.
people think Brock Lesnar is a legend? In what sense?
Well, the last couple of years.
He's the next big thing.
But they haven't put a full-time
he was
roster
next
member.
big
Didn't they
thing
put
2
The
years
Rock
ago.
a couple of years ago and Stone Cold one year? And,
Stone Cold was last year, I
I
believe.
mean, like CM Punk. I mean,
Honestly,
so
they did all that push for 2K16 with the Goldberg package. I don't see why they just couldn't push him on that one. For him, like, I mean, they did it
which
with,
actually that's the 2K17.
I don't like
Yeah.
that one, though.
Yeah, the new.
2K16 was
I
like.
thought 16 had the Goldberg DLC coming out.
No, that's
no,
2K17.
the new
17?
game, Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Crap.
it. And think about
So
that.
you know I've been away from the gaming scene.
Now,
as well.
now think about that, ladies and gentlemen. We have Brock Lesnar on the cover of WWE 2K17 and Goldberg as the special DLC. Think about those two names, Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Two people responsible for the worst WrestleMania match in history. WrestleMania 20.
I
The
would disagree
worst
with you there.
match.
There have been way worse WrestleMania matches
Right.
than that. I mean, like, come on. Like, what about when Zack Ryder got kicked in the balls? That was a horrible match. The Michael Cole versus whatever it was match.
Wasn't it Jerry the King Lawler?
No, that was horrible too. But it was team, like Teddy Long versus team.
Laurinaitis, wasn't it?
Laurinaitis or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, but if
That
you think
was
about
horrible.
it,
That
think
was
about it.
horrible.
Well, think about it on this sense.
Or
The
Miz versus
entire-
John Cena. I mean, they're all horrible.
The entire thing about it like this, though. The reason why I say it is the worst match, because every fan in attendance that night booed the crap out of them.
Because they were
and
leaving the company.
I think the only person that actually got a pop in that thing, Cody, was
Stone
Stone Cold
Cold.
Steve Austin.
That was Austin.
What? Beat Deborah.
But anyway, Corey, we got a lot more to get to, and we thank you for your call. And don't worry, next week's trivia question, I'll try to take it a little bit easier on you.
All right.
All right, Corey, we appreciate the call, man. Have a good night, bro.
All right, y'all be good.
Yep. So, yeah, we just made Corey famous. So if you want to get famous, too, give us a call, 366-8950. You know, that's how we do.
And
that's
also,
how we do.
I don't want to. You think I should talk about that other anniversary of the?
Well, before we get to that, let's go
Did
ahead
that
and
happen this week, too?
Yeah.
Well, before we get that, we're about to show you the video that we were I was alluding to concerning the incident that happened in Texas over at Main Event Pro Wrestling. I want you guys, when this video comes up, I want you to pay attention to the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Now, if you see in the upper left-hand corner, there you see Hernandez.
Fucking-
That was-
And the lady.
I don't know, but
And the lady too.
I think we have another caller. So do we put it on speaker?
Yeah.
Hello, caller.
What's up?
Turn down your TV just a little bit because there'll be a little bit of an echo.
I got you, bro. I got it.
You saw that fight on we just showed?
What was that?
You saw
Can we
that?
show it one more time, Jacob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look at this, man. This is Hernandez at a indie wrestling show in Texas, getting pummeled by a guy by the name of Brent McKenzie.
What is this?
This is at an indie show in Texas.
And I don't know if you know Hernandez from TNA.
Homicide.
LAX.
Yeah,
Who's
LAX.
this dude in the box in the red?
That would be the Insane Machine, Cody Hawkins. He's a pro wrestler here in Louisiana out of Gulf Coast Wrestling and Mid-South Extreme.
So he's talking about the dude who's also on the screen right now.
No, this is a different issue. The video you were watching was of former TNA wrestler Hernandez at an independent show in Texas, picking a fight with somebody in the crowd, and this guy, Brent McKenzie, just started wailing on him. Like, you can see the legitimate punches that are being dished at this guy, pinning him into the, like, if you looked at the upper left-hand corner of that video, you would have seen that was a nasty little scrap right there. And it was said that Hernandez clearly stated that it was a work, but it wasn't really a work. That right there, that was legitimate shoot, you know, and it got that guy hot and bothered, and this dude came up and stood up, and
Yeah.
So who are we talking to, by the way?
This is June. Who is this dude in the red that I was just talking to? I never seen him on the show before.
He's like a
tonight.
guest.
That's June. This is Cody Hawkins. He is a member of MSX.
Mid-South Extreme.
And do you do Gulf Coast Wrestling as well?
I'm with Gulf Coast Wrestling. It's just I've been let's just say I've had a hiatus for a minute trying to get things straight.
June, didn't I speak with you 2 weeks ago and you wanted to know if I was drinking anything?
Yeah.
How you doing, June? What's up?
Hey, June, you've been the cough edit. You've been doing Grandpa's old cough edison.
Because Corey was on the damn thing forever. But, great hat dude. He was making some comments about basketball a week or two ago about the finals.
Oh, and how we think the finals is a work?
Huh?
And how we think the finals is a work too, and it's rigged?
Yeah, what was all that, bruh?
What? I mean, like professional sports. I mean, to me, almost professional wrestling at least admits that it's a work. But almost all of the other professional sports have just become kind of fixed.
Yeah,
Vegas runs professional sports, right?
I'm trying to think of whose wife was what took to Twitter.
Yeah, actually, Stephen Curry's wife even said that it was a work.
Oh, dude.
Which Stephen A. Smith called her out on it and everything, you know, but...
I'm not saying that anything's possible. I mean, anything is possible. But
I know that the Golden State's defense was a heck of a lot better than what they were in the last 3 games whenever LeBron and Kyrie Irving were shooting uncontested shots all throughout the game.
Yeah.
It sounds
oh
like
man,
they
if you think that
They were loafing, man.
Yeah.
if you think that professional sports are fixed like pro wrestling is fake, I mean, come on, dude. You living in La La Land, man.
Hey,
Fake is the wrong word.
Yeah, June. Hold on, June. Let me speak for a second, okay? Now, we don't like to use the terminology "fake" over here. We kind of like
Is that fake?
because
Yeah.
when I view it, I don't call it that. I call it predetermined.
Yeah.
But everything that goes into the training, to the movesets, learning how to do everything, all of that is not fake. You have to know what you're doing in that ring. Otherwise, you could get hurt. There has been countless stories. I don't know if you've seen anything like backyard wrestling on YouTube, because these kids with zero training whatsoever think if they can see it on TV, they can emulate it, and they get hurt. They break their bones. There's actually a report of a kid actually breaking his neck doing a moonsault. And Cody, you can attest to this. People have to have the proper training to actually do this, or they can get severely hurt.
Yes, there is a reason why we say do not try this at home. Because it's like this. I've been a part of the business for 7 years. I trained a long time off and on, back consistently, days in and days out, before I could even get my first match. And it cuts like the worst comment for somebody to call my sacrifices, my time spent away from home,
And
my time away
injuries.
from family, my injuries, fake. I mean, I understand where you're coming
It's
from with
apples
it,
and oranges, right?
but
June.
trust me, there's nothing fake about the pain that I went through. I mean, scar on my face here, barbed wire. I've got a rotator cuff damage from taking a fall badly, countless concussions. I had puncture marks from staples and hardcore matches, and I mean, trust me, the pain's all too real, my brother.
Joker's Nightmare TV in the chat room actually has a comment that Mr. Anderson used a lot in TNA. Pro wrestling is real, people are fake.
Pretty much good quote.
Yeah, I used the wrong word. I shouldn't have
It's
used
okay.
fake.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I caught that. You know, I mean, it's a slip up there, June. You know, but you got to
That's
realize
how
you
I
got a
say
bunch
this.
of professional wrestling people around here, so
And actually a
they're gonna
professional
jump
wrestler.
on that word real quick.
Yeah, considering you have a commentator and a professional wrestler on the chat.
And somebody's training.
Yes, sir. What you got, Mr. June?
Have y'all ever kissed a girl before?
Yeah.
You know what?
That is a favor.
Bye.
Yeah.
This is what we do on here. We like to take.
June, we did it like that with your mama, baby.
He's gonna come in like.
Hello, caller. You're on the air on
What you
Sports
got about
Entertainment
that,
tonight.
June?
Yeah.
Hello, caller. You're on the air on Sports Entertainment tonight. How you doing?
Hey guys, Weird Paul here.
Weird Paul.
Weird Paul, what's up, dude?
I got a question for you. How come a great wrestler like Austin Aries is staying on NXT? The guy's phenomenal on the mic, and he's a
Well,
fantastic
I
guy.
can actually kind of maybe put an input on that because
I
Austin
think
Aries
we all
is
can.
a great worker. He is an astounding worker. He's been around the world. He's been working for some of the best federations around. I feel the same reason they have Austin Aries in NXT is the same reason why I feel they have Shinsuke Nakamura
And
on
Samoa Joe.
NXT.
And Samoa Joe.
And Samoa Joe to bring the hype up about NXT.
And they're
You got-
good.
Because
sorry.
NXT is a very progressive style of wrestling compared to the Raw roster, which they're trying to take that input from NXT and bring it to Raw slowly but surely. But that progressive style of wrestling that Austin Aries and Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura produce and they provide for the sake of entertainment for the crowd at NXT is the reason why NXT is as big as it is.
Well, and I would like to chime in on that as well, in that the NXT roster is about to get depleted with the WWE draft coming up. And to a certain degree, you know, having those names on the NXT roster helps build younger talent in that they can get victories over known names. But ultimately, the lot of them are about to head to the main roster, and Austin Aries could very well be one of those that gets called up in the draft here in the coming months. However, if he doesn't, it is merely just to help keep NXT as a brand, you know, and because they're taking a big hit right now with the NXT, with the WWE draft.
Beat the glue.
Well, how did AJ Styles bypass NXT?
Because of his 15 years in the business, 15 plus years. He's been known, once again, worldwide. Before he got the contract to go to the WWE, he was at New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was heading Bullet Club, if I'm not mistaken, before Kenny Omega and the rest of Bullet Club turned on him. And then not long after AJ came, Anderson and Gallows. But AJ's got that big of a career. He has a superiorly illustrious career behind him and around his waist for him to have that kind of push.
I haven't seen him in one bad match in WWE. The man cannot have a bad match with anyone. He even mentioned that on the Stone Cold podcast, how he really kind of works his talents or however he does the match, depending on whoever he's wrestling. And he's a wrestling genius.
He's a
And
very
not to say that
versatile
not to say that Austin Aries isn't, but Austin Aries is a short guy, and Vince McMahon really
he doesn't take kindly to short men.
Yeah. So he's got that working against him. However, he had an awesome match at TakeOver against Nakamura.
That was a great match.
Yeah, it was a great match. I've always been an Austin Aries fan. I thought he kind of was similar to CM Punk, kind of in Punk's heyday. You know, but yeah, I'm glad that he's in the WWE, and it's only a matter of time before he's on the main roster with the brand split.
What about Robert
I'll say
Roode?
by the end of the year.
Wait, say that again, Weird Paul?
What about Robert Roode? Bobby Roode, is he going to be in there
Bobby
to
Roode.
move up into the
He's been
regular
He's been
WWE?
sitting ringside for a minute at the NXT.
Yeah.
shows.
I think it's possible that is Samoa Joe's opponent at NXT Brooklyn, and they've kind of been, alluding to that he kind of has beef with Samoa Joe, and that could be the possible title match.
Paul, think about it like this. We nearly had the opportunity, if you look at it this way, if James Storm would have stuck with NXT instead of going back to TNA, of having beer money in the NXT tag team roster. I mean, how awesome would that have been to have
Or
that?
WWE roster.
Quite honestly, that would have gave the revival
That'd be awesome.
for the money.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, let me ask you this question. When the draft happens on July 19th, and of course, like Nick has said already, that there will be a lot of people being called up from NXT to supplement both rosters of Raw and SmackDown. In your personal opinion, who would you like to see be called up to the main roster to be either on Raw or SmackDown?
Me, Austin Aries.
For you, yes. And I tell you guys, one thing that I was really disappointed with Raw last night is last night they had Miz come back, and he had a mystery opponent for his Intercontinental title match. I thought that was a perfect opportunity to debut Finn Balor. But they got the wrong demon. They got the demon from 20 years ago. So I think that would actually be an awesome way to debut Finn Balor if they say, well, Miz, since you lost, you have to go against the demon at Battleground, and then instead of being the demon Kane, it could be the demon Finn Balor, and win the Intercontinental title in your first match and build them up that way.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Finn Balor, it was announced on last week's NXT, Paul, that in about 2 weeks' time, we will have the match between Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. And I got to ask you, what are your thoughts with this match coming up? This has got to be probably one of the hottest, possibly match of the year candidates for NXT. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, that's going to be really, really cool. But the thing is, I wanted to ask you guys, how many years has Samoa Joe been wrestling?
Ooh, quite a long time. He started.
No, that like
He's
20
been
or
at
18
least 10
years.
years, easy.
Yeah, he was in Ring of Honor. Then he went to TNA.
He was in PWG,
Yeah, he was
Pro
also.
Wrestling Guerrilla.
About as long as Punk, yeah.
Joe was also in CZW for a minute whenever they had the whole CZW versus ROH.
16, 15 years.
Now, is there anybody left at TNA? It's horrible, isn't it?
Oh,
It's
very
not
bad.
much, yeah.
have you
It's worse
seen
than
what
WCW.
Matt? Paul, let me ask you this: have you seen what Matt Hardy looks like right now?
Yeah, I love Matt Hardy's hair. That's nice, huh?
Oh man, yeah. Which so Paul, I take it you're an NXT fan. Have you heard that they are having a NXT show in New Orleans on August 8th? Tickets went on sale this past Friday.
August 8th? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just announced that this past week, I believe, and the tickets went on sale Friday. They might have some available still, but it's at New Orleans Theater, I believe, August 8th. And the names advertised, I believe, are Nakamura. They've got Dash and Dawson, Bailey, Asuka. I think Austin Aries was actually one of the names as well.
You need to go. Billy Oscars could be there.
Yeah.
One last question for you guys. Who's going to be the SmackDown manager? That's getting kind of old, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, we all know it's gonna end up being Stephanie and Shane.
Yeah.
You know, so they're just teasing all these other general managers, I think.
I think it's good that they brought him back. You know, the tout.
It's a nice little nostalgic push.
But I mean, like the draft is coming up. They need to
Keep
move along with that
Laurinaitis off
storyline.
TV.
Keep his laryngitis voice off as well.
Which actually, we've got a Laurinaitis playing linebacker for the Saints now.
Yeah.
James Laurinaitis.
Yep. James.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
That's
So.
animals.
Thanks a lot, guys. Good talking to you. I got to head out. Thank you very much.
All right, we appreciate it,
Thank
Will
you.
Paul. Holler at us next week, man.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
Nice to hear from some actually a good, intelligent wrestling fan in Weird Paul, and hopefully we can hear him again in the upcoming weeks. So, again, if you guys want to talk to us, you can too, 337-366-8950, or you could go to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and get into our chat room, and we'll talk to you.
Which we've only got about 8 minutes left. Y'all want to try and talk some Raw?
Well, let me just say this: 60% of Raw was crap.
It really was crap. Hold on, I brought a prop for that.
Oh boy.
Even Stevie Wonder saw the end of that Raw coming.
Yeah.
Now, there were some
Come
high
on.
points to a Monday Night Raw. For one thing, the highlight reel with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, that was actually...
That was good. Also the New Day dressed as the Wyatts was one of the highlights of the show for me.
Yeah.
And they're still playing up to the point where Xavier Woods seems to be freaked out by Bray Wyatt.
People in the IWC saying that Xavier Woods might go to the Wyatt family, like Daniel Bryan. But
Maybe. But yeah, the I guess the big matches of the night were, and they set this up in the opening promo where they basically, John Cena and AJ Styles wanted in the title match to make it a fatal 5-way. And so they had, Seth Rollins had to wrestle John Cena, and Dean Ambrose had to wrestle AJ Styles, and if they won, they got added to the title match. Well, it was quite obvious after Seth Rollins and John Cena wrestled and had their own good match, and when the club went and interfered, which I called, by the way, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
the club's going to interfere, obviously, and then John Cena's going to go interfere in the main event. It was quite predictable, but I guess they set it up. And they still got 5 weeks or 4 weeks left to build up this pay-per-view, so they're stretching it out as long as they can.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that one. But a much better match, to me personally, was actually the main event with Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles. They showed great in-ring chemistry. It was a really exciting match. But and actually, Rollins was back on commentary. By the way, that's somebody who can actually be on commentary. Kevin Owens, you suck on the microphone.
What?
Kevin Owens. When
I disagree with you there, Billy.
Let me put it to you like this.
there.
This is what
I
what
love
I hear.
Owens on commentary.
This is what I hear when Kevin Owens is on commentary.
Shut up, Michael Cole.
Shut-
Is what I hear when
Yeah.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I mean, no, to that extent, I'll agree with him on that one. But that's pretty much all I hear. Like, shut up, Michael Cole. Shut up, Byron Saxton. Why aren't you talking about me? And what does that really contribute to the match? Nothing.
Yeah.
But Seth Rollins was
First
wonderful
shot
on
ever.
commentary.
Which-
Rollins really knows how to play it up.
I will say I am confused with Seth Rollins' character.
I think a lot of people are ever since he
Bad
came
guy.
back.
Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy?
I'm not-
I mean,
like-
like it's like he does good guy things and then he says something like.
It's like Roman
you know,
Reigns again. He's like, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy. I'm just a guy.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't know. I think they want to do it, make Roman Reigns a heel and Rollins be a babyface.
Man, well, we saw a rekindling of the club and the Usos last week on SmackDown. Do you think any way that this Cena AJ Styles feud becomes a 6-man tag at Battleground with maybe Cena and the Usos going against the club?
I wouldn't really necessarily put the Usos into that category. I think we even addressed it a little bit last week.
I would rather see Cass and Enzo.
That, or maybe even bring up American Alpha from
There you
NXT
go.
for it, because I think that would be a much better blend. Now, if it would have been Roman Reigns versus the club, then the Usos definitely would have been my choice, because
Well, they
it's
already
family.
been there, done that.
Exactly. So I don't really see how they could tie the Usos into to John
Other
Cena
than
and
the fact
club.
that they fought last week
Yeah.
on SmackDown.
Yeah,
you know,
but SmackDown really, as of late, really doesn't do any major storyline changes when it comes to.
They will.
So but they will be come July 19th.
Because they're trying to push SmackDown as big as Raw, you know,
Yeah,
and that's why I
exactly.
really don't think it matters where Mauro and Nalo is, because both shows are going to be just as big.
Exactly. I would have to agree with you on that one. But like I said, I think
Bush.
Monday Night Raw has always been the main staple of WWE. It's always been the flagship show. Whether they, especially when they go to the brand split, it's still going to be considered to be the flagship show of WWE. And to have someone like Mauro Ranallo, and I'm pulling for this, and I'm hoping WWE will do it, because I even addressed it a little bit earlier. Have Ranallo drafted to Monday Night Raw, and have Michael Cole drafted to the end of my foot while I'm kicking him in the ass.
Which was y'all's garbage segment
He's
of the
going to
night last
NXT.
night.
With the garbage
The
set.
garbage segment of the night.
Yeah.
For me, it was Summer Rae versus Becky Lynch, Natalya on commentary. I believe the whole entire segment lasted 2 minutes.
And it was just to set up the feud between Summer Rae and not Summer Rae,
But
Becky Lynch and Natalya.
Natalya's explanation for why she turned heel was pretty awful to me.
Yeah, they need more work on it, to be honest. There's really no direction to it. It's just, you're wrong place, wrong time. So what? So what? But if I can disagree with you on garbage segment of the night, to me personally, garbage segment of the night was Maurice and that god awful sell job she did when she got up on the ring apron, and all of a sudden she was like, "Ah,
Yeah,
I hurt my
it was pretty
ankle."
bad.
Oh,
Pretty
She
bad.
looks good though.
I think,
But the fact they even picked Kane to be in that match was awful to me too.
yeah,
But Kane's still awesome though.
But real quick, battleground card so far. I mean, we still got 4 weeks.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah, the Jericho. I actually liked the highlight reel. That was a good segment.
oh yeah.
But I guess they're still going with the triple threat with Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Cena, AJ Styles, New Day versus the Wyatts, Rusev, Titus O'Neil, Paige, and I guess it's Charlotte and Paige, maybe Sasha Banks. I don't know. I guess from last night we might get an Enzo and Cass versus the Social Outcast for some reason. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Miz, maybe versus Kane, or I would prefer to see Finn Balor personally as a different demon. What about Del Rio and Sheamus? Do we really want to see them two? That was played out in 2013, much less 2016.
I text them I think they should bring back the European Championship. That Finn Balor and Sheamus.
How many seconds, Jacob? Real quick.
About 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Go ahead.
I think they should bring back the European title, cruiserweight title for SmackDown. Get European title for Sheamus, Balor, and Neville to do something with.
Which, folks, we're about to end our AOC.
Yeah, but stay tuned to the post show right here on youtube.com/WrestleGamer. We're going to talk about Ring of Honor,
10 seconds.
and Best in the World pay-per-view. So with that being said, I'm Billy Boudreaux. This is Nick Fuquay. That's Mark Trahan.